right? You can go to the next chapter in the first verse.
This is the book of John chapter 16 and verse 1. These things have I spoken unto you, that ye should not be offended. They shall put you out of the synagogue.
And you better not be offended by this, Kevin. You can't be, right?
Yea, the time cometh that whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth God's service.
Right, so it's bound to happen. People are ready to kill you. It's a video, I'm going to pull it up in a minute, Lord willing, where Edomite, he said, look, if Trump gets out of office, ready. We ready, right? He said it's bound to happen, right? And that was a threat, you know, so, look, it's happening, right? Yeah, there's another one, too.
I ain't trying to get none of that race war shit, bro.
What you mean, brother? Hold on, brother.
I mean,
hold on, it's like, brother. It's bound to happen.
People, but I'm not about. I ain't trying to fight.
Okay. Well, let me say this too.
No, I'm 25. I'm wording it wrong.
As long you talking about you don't want to jump into the race wars and fight people. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. You gotta pray. You gotta wait on the Lord.
Yeah. All right, this is the book of Matthew chapter 10 and verse 36. I'm gonna start off at 36. All right. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And this is the point. Listen to this carefully. This is Matthew 10 and 38. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. He that findeth his life shall lose it. And he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it.
Right.
Where do y'all stand with all that Trump shit and that race war shit?
We're gonna show you.
Let him kill it.
Songs of Solomon 2 and 7.
But,
Stand with Yahweh Bashem Shai King.
that's right. You can go to Ecclesiastes 3 and 1.
But what if they try and persecute you though?
Well, if they persecute us, they persecute us. If they put a gun in your head, you gotta say, do it. You're doing me a favor, all right? Because we know the ones that get put to death are going to be the first ones risen up in chariots.
That's right. Slakia, you say Ecclesiastes 3 and 1?
Yes.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3 and verse 1. And it reads, to everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born, and a time to die. A time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted.
And Salakia, 8 is going to be a time to die. That's what it is. That's just going to be the time to be put to death by the guillotines.
That's your life.
Right? That's your life. It is what it is. Bring this out.
Songs of Solomon 2 and 7. I charge you, O ye daughters of Jerusalem,
Right, ye daughters of Jerusalem.
by the roes and by the hinds of the fields, that ye stir not up, nor awake my love,
Right?
till she please.
In other words, don't try to force the Most High hand. Don't try to put things in your own hand and say, look, I'm going to jump in these race wars and I'm going to try to do my thing. Right? I'm going to try to be the new Nat Turner. Bring out Romans 11 and 24. In Psalms 94 and 1. That should be it.
Bring it out.
Romans 11 and 24. For if thou were cut,
Oh, Slucky. 11 and... Oh, you can bring that out.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 94 and verse 1. O Lord God, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, to whom vengeance belongeth. O God, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, to whom vengeance belongeth. Show thyself.
Right. So vengeance belongs to the Lord. Right? He said, Lord, you got to show yourself. Right? He didn't say, look, Lord, I'm going to show myself. And I'm going to get my guns. And I'm going to get my folks. And we're going to light it up. Right? You got to wait patiently upon the Lord.
Romans 12 and 20. Therefore, if thine enemies hunger, feed them. If he thirst, give him drink. For in doing so, thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head. Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good.
Go ahead. Oh, it's Slucky.
12 and 19.
You said what?
12 and 19.
That's what it was. Yeah, the water. That's what it was.
Romans 12 and 19. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine. I will repay, saith the Lord.
Right, so vengeance is of the Lord. So Jake better not participate in these race wars and these riots.
But when
Slucky.
the race wars go off,
Hey, what's your nationality?
these people go to their own people.
Sis, you gotta get out.
Sister.
You gotta get out. You gotta leave that so-called white man.
Get out.
You gotta get out.
Get out.
Right? He ain't gonna do no good to you.
Right.
His forefathers raped, robbed, and murdered your forefathers
That's
and your
right.
foremothers. You holding hands, you're gonna be put to death, both of y'all.
That's
then,
right.
Go ahead, join the hand.
Right? Watch when these race wars happen. That's the spirit we just talking about it. Right? You think his folks don't give a damn about her? They're gonna shoot her all up, man.
That's right.
Make a pinata out of her.
Right.
Right? Jake still, man, that's a damn shame. Still holding hands to hands with the enemies.
There's a song. There's a song that goes, "I want revenge from my forefathers."
Yeah. Well, you
You ever
know,
feel that way or no?
well, we gonna get revenge in a way.
we'll go.
We will get revenge in a way, right? We're gonna put these Edomites into slavery, put them up in the shackles.
That's
Right?
right.
Go to Deuteronomy 32:7.
Get out.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 7.
Right up.
Deuteronomy 32 and verse 7. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee.
So not only do we gotta remember the days of old, it's like when we remember the days of old, what are we remembering? What our forefathers went through, right? Rape, robbed, and murdered, right? Go to Deuteronomy 30 and 7.
Deuteronomy 30 and 7. And the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee.
Yeah, that's us getting our vengeance, right? And what's one of the curses? Going into slave ships, right? Who's gonna put those Edomites on the slave ships? We are, right? So that's us kind of getting that vengeance. But ultimately, when it comes to destroying America, right, these other nations, that's for Yahweh Shai and the angels, right?
There's been videos recently of chariots in the sky too.
That's right. You know what this? You know why that's happened? Because it was a prophecy. It was meant to happen.
Right.
We're gonna show you in Acts 2 and 17.
Proverbs 20 and 22. Well, as far as going to the vengeance thing. Yeah, this is Proverbs 20 and verse 22. Say not thou, I will recompense evil. This is the book of Proverbs 20 verse 22. Say not thou, I will recompense evil, but wait on the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and he shall save thee.
That's a mean one.
So we wait on the Most High,
It's a nasty one.
because the vengeance belongs to him. Now, when he gives the green light and he tells us to do such and such and such, then so that's what's going to happen. But we don't take it upon ourselves to go ahead and do that.
Right.
Precept.
Hold on, okay, hold on.
That's kind of the media too. Bullshit and lying. You know what I mean?
Going to where y'all precept.
Come.
Book of Exodus chapter.
It's like it. Fish has got a fish. Fish has got a fish. Two fishes.
Book of Exodus chapter 14 and verse 14. The Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace.
That's right. Bring that up.
Acts 2 and 17. And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith God, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy,
Right.
and your
And it's like, and that's happening now. Brothers having dreams, they going to another world, beating up a demon. You know, brothers having dreams, you know, you jumping over a mountain. Brothers had dreams that they was in a chariot. Brothers had dreams we was in the kingdom already. Go ahead.
and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams.
Go ahead.
And on my servants and on my handmaids I will pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy.
Go ahead. You talked about the chariots. It's a lot. It's a lot of sightings, right? There's more videos being uploaded. Even America said, "Whoa! All right, we admit it. These UFOs are real, but to us, they're identified flying objects." Go ahead.
Come on, brothers.
Hold on. Okay.
And I will show wonders in heaven above.
He said what?
And I will show wonders in heaven above.
And I will show wonders in heaven above. Going into us seeing the chariots, right? Does that make sense? Right? You got a lot of the blood moons. It's like the third one, right in the past couple of months. You know?
Do they mention chariots in the Bible too?
Yes. We want to show you.
That's crazy. All the prophecies are being fulfilled right now.
Mm-hmm. Go to Psalms 104 and 3. And 2 Maccabees chapter 10 verse 33. I'm gonna show you what these chariots can do, brother.
Psalms 104 and 3. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters? Who maketh the clouds his chariots?
Who maketh the clouds his chariots? Right? And keep this in mind when our forefathers were writing these, or seeing the miracles happens and the wonders happening. They called those clouds chariots, right? Because they in the shape of a cloud in a way, right? They called them chariots, flying scrolls, right? They called them a lot of things. This
This is the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 10 and verse 33. But they that were with Maccabeus laid siege against the fortress courageously 4 days. And they that were within, trusting to the strength of the place, blasphemed exceedingly and uttered wicked words. Nevertheless, upon the 5th day, early 20 young men of Maccabeus' company, inflamed with anger because of the blasphemies, assaulted the wall manly, and with a fierce courage killed all that they met withal. Others likewise ascending after them, whilst they were busied with them that were within, burnt the towers, and kindling fires, burnt the blasphemers alive.
And believe it or not, the reason why they was doing and accomplishing all those things because those angels was backing them up, right? They was right there behind them, right? Like when you read in the book of Daniel, it was a certain angel stopping Daniel from doing a certain duty, right? And then there's other angels. When you read, you got to read behind. What do they say? Read behind the lines. Read between the lines, right? And acknowledge and realize when the angels are actually, doing their job. Because like it says in Psalms 34 and 7, the angels were camped round about thee, those that fear the Lord.
So you prefer the New Testament or Old Testament, or is it all
The
like
whole book.
it all-
The
it
whole
all
book.
ties in?
The whole book.
The whole road.
The whole book, brother.
Let's bring it
I'm
out,
going to show
bro.
you.
Let's bring it out. I want you to write both of these verses down, all right? It's the book of Psalms. This is so-called Old Testament, right? It's the book of Psalms, chapter 40 and verse 7. And it reads, This said I, Lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me. So Yahweh Shai says he comes in the whole volume of the book. What's the whole volume? The whole entire Bible. The whole roll is written of him. All right? That's just confusion when they say New Testament, Old Testament. Because look, this is Hebrews 10 and 7. All right? And it reads, the book of Hebrews, chapter 10 and verse 7. And it reads, the water. This said I, Lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me to do thy will, O God. Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. So he comes in the volume of the book, right? And in Hebrews 13 and 8, it reads, Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, the same yesterday and today and forever. All right? So the whole book, or this whole book, you use to get understanding. Precept must be upon precept, line upon line. Here a little, there a little.
There's good. There's a lot of good precepts too.
And but that's how you get the understanding of this book. You don't read it like a novel.
Right.
You got one book that will give you the answer to this.
There's no start to finish, or is it kind of like you got to start in one area and then?
It's nice to start from Genesis, keep going, but when you constantly read and you see a verse that sounds familiar with another verse, that's how you start taking notes. And you can read other books too. You can kind of jump to the Gospels.
Do you read? Is Revelations the last one you read, or?
If you want to read that, you can read it first, but we strongly suggest start with the milk because it's a lot of meat in Revelations. right?
Start at Exodus chapter 2.
Start from Genesis, from beginning of beginnings.
I always say start from the beginning. That's where I started at.
You know?
But look, brother, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 39 and verse 1, all right? But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, so the law is the milk. That's where you first start off. You learn that from the first 5 books. Start off at Genesis, because that's when you're going to learn the law. All right, but once you start learning and getting down the law, you're going to start getting to meatier matters. Check this out. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof. So once you give in to the law of the Most High, you're occupied in the meditation thereof. This is what's going to happen. Will seek out the wisdom of all the ancients and be occupied in prophecies. Then you're going to turn to the deeper stuff. But first, what you need to come to is knowing what the law is and doing the law. And then you're going to start going to the deeper matters. Revelation is a deep book, like the brother said. That's me. You don't want to choke off of me. Something that you ain't going to understand it. You got to get the milk first, brother.
Right?
Your baby coming in.
And
You get the milk.
we're gonna prove it to you in 1 Peter. All right?
Come on.
Second chapter, first verse.
1 Peter 2 and 1.
Yeah.
There's another one, Corinthians 3 and 2. Okay, this is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 1, verse, you said what? 2 and 2. All right, this is the book of Salakia. 1 Peter. It's 1 Peter, chapter 2, verse 2. All as newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. If so be ye have tasted that the Lord is gracious. So newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby.
That's what a babe drinks. They drink the milk first. They
Right.
don't eat the meat. How you kill a baby like that? That's murder.
Let
Right?
me-
And we feed a lot of meat to the baby. They, you know. Yeah. You're a madman.
Hey, this
Let-
is
let me
off
bring
topic
this up.
real quick.
Hold on real quick.
One more thing to bring this out. To go back on what the brother said. This is
And the verses that we bring out, you got to kind of digest it. And
gotta
when we
digest
understand
it.
you got a lot of questions. Kind of digest it. Let it sit in your stomach the same way you eating this, any type of food.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians. This goes with 1 Peter 2 and 2, all right? This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 1. And it reads, And I, brethren, could not speak unto you as into spiritual, but as into carnal, even as into babes in a Mashiach. So we have to come at you with simplicity and the milk of the word, right? I have fed you with milk and not with meat. You know why not with meat? Because you would choke on it. All right? For hither to ye were not able to bear it. Neither yet now are ye able. All right? So you have to come in with milk.
You're not going to teach your fourth grader geometry, and trigonometry, and calculus. You got to teach them addition, multiplication, some factors here and there probably.
I know this is off topic real quick, but would y'all ever debate like a Christian?
We debated the Christians. We talked
Or
about
do they try and dodge it? Or there's this dude on YouTube with fucking
Brother, if you see the videos, you
Vocab
know.
Malone. You ever heard of that motherfucker? Vocab Malone.
Yeah, brother, you already know it then. You know it.
We stay cutting up Christians, man.
Yep. We cut them faithfully, right? That comes with the job. Our sword is very bloody.
I'm so pissed that none of this was taught to me growing up in school or by family or.
That's
No,
okay.
I just learned this maybe a year ago.
Jeremiah 17 and 4.
That's right.
17 and 4.
Hey, our heritage was taken from us, brother.
Let's continue from your heritage.
You know?
Then they replaced it with
With Christianity,
Madness.
Athlete.
There you go.
philosophy, aka bullshit.
Exactly. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee. And I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. So that's what happens, brother.
Our heritage was snatched from us, right? And what is our heritage? You know, brother? Going back to the milk. What's our heritage? Yeah, that's a piece of the pie. But we're gonna show you something.
Write this down.
Sirach 17 and 11. Besides this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for inheritance.
He gave us the law of life for inheritance. This whole Bible right here, this is our heritage.
Y'all got a minute for the word?
Find out how to read, how to write,
It's the
right?
Sabbath.
How to read, how to write, how to do all that good stuff. That's right.
I'll get one later. Here, Kevin.
Is this making sense?
Man, it's a lot more to learn. I got a lot to learn, bro. But you gotta stay consistent with it, like you said, right?
Yeah, brother.
Fish is fish, fish.
Because you know
You
what's
asked
going
her
to
already. You
happen.
talked to her already.
You're saying what you're saying now, right? You're going to go back into the world, and you're going to forget everything that we just said and brought out to you through the Spirit.
Don't quench the spirit.
Yeah, bro, you got to
Put it
constantly
out.
be feeding
Don't quench the
yourself,
spirit.
man.
Hey, you bring out First Thessalonians.
You have to keep coming out, man.
Don't quench
Y'all out here every week?
Every, Lord willing.
Friday and
Father-
Brother,
I know, last
come on,
week was,
brother.
The atonement or is it,
Yeah, that was the other week. But come on, brother. You know we out here every Friday and Saturday. Brother, you know if you want to ask questions, you can email us. You got me on Instagram. Come on now, you know.
And
know
I'm not
this.
going to lie, man. Some of these questions you already asked.
First
You
Thessalonians.
should already know.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You should already
You
know
don't
because
wanna
we already
wax
answered them.
lyrical.
You know what that means? You
might
went
get
back
light-
into the world
Right.
and threw off everything you just learned because you're not diligent.
Y'all gave him more precepts last time.
You might
Come
get
on,
that
King.
Isaiah 5 and 10.
You can't play with this, brother. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 5 and verse 10. Yea, 10 acres of vineyard.
Start verse,
11 and 5. Slack you. Isaiah 11 and 5.
This is the book of Isaiah. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 11 and verse 5. And righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins,
right?
and and faithfulness the girdle of his reins.
Right. In other words, the righteousness, which is the law and statutes and commandments, you got to put it on like a cloak, right? Like your clothing, right? But you kind of tore it off. You kind of tossed it to the side, right? We know that because you asked similar questions. You kind of took off the righteousness and the knowledge and understanding. You tossed it to the side, kind of put on some other clothing.
5 and
that's
8.
the problem I gotta work with myself. You know, just
No,
every
brother,
day
all you
battle,
gotta do
man.
is come out here. That's all you gotta do. It's that simple. You gotta want this, brother.
Yeah, you.
I did it.
No,
I
the
can't
Bible,
see.
you don't even have
Five,
to hang the white man. Stop hanging around. Get the hell away from the white
19.
man.
And be around your brother.
That's right.
Bring that out.
1 Thessalonians 5 and 19. Quench not the spirit. Despise not prophesying. Prove all things.
Hey, quench not the spirit, right? If you don't use it, you'll lose it, as they say in the world. If you don't use it, you lose it. You don't want to lose this, man.
Ecclesiastes 9:8. Let the garment always stay white.
That's right.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 27, verse 8. If thou followest righteousness, thou shalt attain her.
Right, and what?
Attain her. And put her on as a glorious long robe.
You're going to put her on as a glorious
Long robe, right? So if you really want wisdom, put her on, all right?
You going to put it off today.
All right.
There's a lot of knowledge in that book too, right?
A whole lot of knowledge.
Brother, I got a testimony, man. And I'm
One
just
more
saying.
verse before your
All right, go
testimony.
ahead.
Salakia. You can get verse 22.
Sirach 6 and 22. For wisdom is according to her name, and she is not manifest unto many.
Right? She's not manifesting to many, right? But the Most High brought you up here for a reason,
Yep.
right? So for wisdom to be showing out right here to you, that's a blessing, right? It's not us. We just reading the words, right? And breaking it down through the Spirit,
Yep.
right?
Give ear, my son.
What do you say?
Give ear, my son.
Right, let your ears be attentive.
Receive my advice.
What?
Receive my advice,
Go ahead.
and refuse not my counsel.
And refuse not my counsel,
Right.
right?
And put thy feet into her feathers, and thy neck into her chain.
Right.
Bow down thy shoulder, and bear her, and be not grieved with her bonds. Let me read that again. And be not grieved with her bonds.
Go ahead.
Come unto her with thy whole heart,
You got to come into wisdom with your whole heart. Go
That's
ahead.
right.
and keep her ways with all thy power.
You got to, let me go to wisdom. This is the only woman that can satisfy
Me, right?
I got this. Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 8. It say, "Let thy garments be always white, and let thy head like an ointment."
Right.
Revelation chapter 3 and verse 15. I know thy works,
The word.
that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou were cold or hot. So then, because thou lukewarm, neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. You don't want to be one of these brothers,
Hell
man.
no.
Right.
The Most High spewed out his
Hey,
mouth.
and repeat that. Did you hear what he just said?
This is Revelation chapter 3 verse 15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou were cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth.
In other words, to simplify, you half-assing it. That's being lukewarm.
Well, I gotta preach
You,
another
you
one.
wear your fringes one day, throw them away the next, and then you on Amazon buying it the next day. You know, that's
Or-
just a fool.
Or you're answering the questions that you just asked.
I got
You already
no
know the
research.
answer to,
Yeah.
but you threw it off to the wayside, and now you're coming back with the same old question.
Bring that.
That's being cold.
And if you come back tomorrow answering the exact same questions that you asked today, brother, you going off.
Okay.
All right, we're going to tell you straight up you going
I
off.
got
We're going to get on you
another one.
hard.
This is
It's the book of
Revelation.
Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 31. Right, and this is going into wisdom, right? This whole chapter. Right, so 31. Thou shalt put her on as a robe of honor, and shalt put her about thee as a crown of joy. That's talking about wisdom. Let me continue on to the next verse. My son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught. Right, so if you want to be taught, you're going to be taught, man. Right? And if thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be proved. You just got to apply your mind.
Okay. This Revelation chapter 3 verse 2. Be watchful and strengthen the things which remain that are ready to die. For I have not found thy works perfect before Yahweh. Remember, therefore, how thou hast received and heard, and hold fast, and repent. If therefore thou shalt not watch, I will come on thee as a thief, and thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee.
That's
So
right.
you want to be watchful, brother. We ain't just bringing these out for no reason.
You encounter a lot of people in this truth that kind of half-ass it.
Yeah, whole life. Right, that comes with the job. No difference than work. You work with certain lazy people, right? Other workers, they be on it. And the brother had a testimony.
Oh. Here. Nah. Kabosh. Kabosh. You up, bud?
I'm actually,
He about to go.
yeah, I gotta go.
Oh.
Bring it up.
Oh, I'm gonna bring out my testimony though.
I don't know. I got
Brother, when I came into this truth, right? I was like you, man. Like, but it fascinated me. I was different. I was more grounded. I was fascinated by it. I was like to be told a lie all my life, and then to come into this truth, and then to back up what the brothers were saying. Okay, the brothers are not talking bullcrap. They're actually coming from the scriptures because I'm reading it the same thing they're reading it. And the Father had blessed me with the understanding to follow it and take it for what it is. Because you got to put down your own understanding aside. Everything that you was taught, everything that people are telling you, you can't follow a multitude to the evil. That's a commandment. Exodus 23 and 2. Bring it up, King. Exodus 23 and 2. It says, thou shalt not follow a multitude to the evil. All right? So just because everybody's raising their hand up to fuckery, you can't be simply following after it. Bring it up, King.
Exodus 23 and 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many,
Go to?
to wrest judgment.
Exactly. So judgment's coming to this place, brother, and we're gonna have to all deal with it. There's judgment coming to these heathens, what they did with us. You can't look at us and say, well, they're calling us racist. Who gives a damn what these people think? The truth is the truth, brother. The Father of Heaven ain't, he's going with the truth, brother. Just because you got a million people raising their hand to wickedness, are you going to sit there and raise your hand to the wickedness? You got to be that one righteousness, brother.
Take it off, man.
You know?